Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out with Great Hope. Well, my guest today is Craig Houston. You know, people, I can't say that I'm not disappointed in the outcome of the election. It's it's a fact that Mississippi is at the bottom in so many things that's bad or good for us, and that's really sad because we're for I actually read this the other day. We're the fattest state in the union, meaning that we're overweight. How about we don't educate our people? We have a higher incarceration rate. Um, we have a higher incarceration rate. We don't educate our people. So many things that we go through, and the only reason why we go through those things is because um, people are still fighting the Civil War, and we really got to get away from that. And what I mean by that is that we don't look at a person's qualification. We look at a person's skin color, and we vote. When you're talking about being Republican, you're talking about racism, you're talking about separation, you talk about everything that's negative and everything bad in this community and in this country. And it's really sad because we got to get away from that. If we're going to do better as a nation, the most qualified person for the job for governor would have been Jim Hood. But of course, he didn't get the job. The most qualified person in this community here, in my opinion, for supervisor would have been Craig Houston. None of the supervisors said or did anything. They didn't have a debate because they didn't have any issues or anything of substance to talk about. And and it dawned on me that one of the problems in our community is probably happening everywhere is that I'm dying. Either my peers are either dead or dying. Now, when I say about that, not meaning there's something wrong with me. I'm just looking at my age, and none of us can live forever. And so, see, my mom is no longer here. Neither is a lot of friends or people that I grew up with, and some of the people that you know. And the problem with that is that we haven't done right by our children. We have not done for them what other communities have done with their children. And what I mean by that is that we're not educating our children. We're not teaching our children. We're eating on our children, and our children in a dead state, meaning that they have not been raised, they have not been taught. And so we don't have anyone to pass the baton to. And so we can't just wait and come and ask the 18-year-old, the 19 to 20. We're going to go from 18 to 38. We can't come and let's just come down lower than that, 18 to 33. Let's go a little bit lower than that. How about 18 to 28? We can't come and ask them to vote, and we haven't been courting them. We haven't told them anything. We don't know anything. They don't know anything about what's going on. They don't have a high school education because they've been kicked out of school. They probably have a criminal record because they don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do, period. And so we're depending on them to keep our legacy going, but we have not educated them. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to turn this thing around. What I want to do now is I want to welcome Craig Houston back here. You know, Craig Houston ran for supervisor against Wayman Newell in District 2. Craig Houston, thank you for coming back, and I want to congratulate you. I can tell you, Craig, you did a wonderful job. You work harder than anybody I know. I mean, you from day one to the last day, to the last hour, and so I gotta commend you on that. And I can't tell you that I wasn't disappointed because you know I'm not on. I consider you a friend. You know I'm an avid supporter. I listen at your ideas and the things that you talked about, and I'm disappointed. And I got to talk about that Velma Young box, Magnolia, East End. Have, if I'm not mistaken, about 2,200 registered voters there, more or less. And then only about 900 vote, 800 and some voted, meaning 1,300 people didn't vote. Craig lost about 198 votes. Um, Michael Grace, he lost about 600 votes. If half of the people that did not vote would have voted at Velma Young, and of course naturally voted Democrat, he would be supervisor today, and a lot of things would be different. That's a very powerful box. They don't even understand the power they have. We're going to call the Velma Young box the sleeping giant. Craig Houston, welcome back to the program.
Great, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, and I thank you for an opportunity to come to your podcast and be able to express some ideas and talk to the people and talk about some of the ideas that I have. I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody that supported me, everybody that encouraged me, everybody that voted for me, everybody that pushed me, everybody that had confidence in me. I mean, it's an honor to be the Democratic. It was an honor to be the Democratic nominee for District 2. And I just want to thank everybody for having that confidence in me. I want to thank. I can't say it enough. It was you work hard, and of course you're disappointed, but you're not mad, and I'm not going to be discouraged. We're going to definitely have to make some changes in the community, and somehow we got to let people know when you have an opportunity to make change, you don't get an opportunity to make change but every 4 years in any particular political seat. Again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my uncle, my uncle who's the mayor of the cab, my brother, my nephew, my great niece, my great nephew, for coming out and supporting me and being there, and everybody else.
I want to say this today. I want to thank Lolo Allen, because Lolo, she really rose up above all the negative things out there, and she had people telling her to do write-ins and all those things, and she really worked very hard in trying to help you get that position.
I want to thank her and thank everybody. Yeah. I mean, she did. Everybody just tried to realize that we need to make a change.
What I'm concerned with now, Craig, is that Wayman Newell get to redraw the district lines.
Yeah, the lines are going to be redrawn in the next 2 years. There was a lot to vote for, and the district will probably get chopped up some. It's going to get chopped up some, but it doesn't matter how the numbers are. It matters who shows up to vote. When you hear people talk about wanting to change, it's just like watching something on TV and you want to watch something else. If you don't bother to change the channel, it's going to stay on that channel, and that's where we are. No priorities are going to change. No ideas are going to change. There was no change on the Board of Supervisors. So don't look for any change.
Is it anything that you could have done differently?
When you work hard, hindsight is 20/20. It's some things that I would have done a few things a little differently. I was really upset last week about not having an opportunity to have a forum or a debate. That's a travesty. That's a misjustice to this community, that you go through an entire election cycle and you have not one forum or one debate where candidates can sit side by side and answer questions. You let the incumbents off the hook. They didn't have to answer for anything. It's just like every time there was a forum that was supposed to happen, something came up. One of the things I would have done is just took forums to the people, my own, in the different areas of District 2. But, that's neither here nor there. And you can talk about whatever the makeup is of District 2. But those who to the victor goes the spoils. And you don't have to have any ideas. And, one thing about me, I respect candidates. The one problem I have with my opponent, with Mr. Newell, is the way that he manipulates people. When you run it upsets me. And that's not like trying to tear him down or beat him down. But when you run a 4-year-old commercial and you making claims that are not true, and you're just trying to patronize people, and
telling people you're gonna give them the job.
I mean, when you got people out, you support me, I'm gonna give you the job, and that job belongs to the people, and it belongs to him because he got the most votes.
And it's not his to give away.
And I'm not bitter or anything, but it just caused me to feel a certain kind of way when I think you're manipulating our people, and I think you're patronizing our people, and I think that you listen, and like I said, this is just fact, people. When you don't have any ideas, if you listen, you hear nothing about moving forward, nothing about anything.
Well, Craig, I got to ask you this. Are you going to
run
again?
I'm not going anywhere.
That's what I'm here for.
And I will run for District 2 Supervisor again.
Until you get it.
We're going to get it next time. Until the thing about it, people, is we need to make a fundamental change. We're not going to make any changes. I mean, we got so many things that need to be addressed. I mean, it's so many things, and don't expect anything different than what you've been getting, because you basically got the same. You got the exact same thing that you had last week. You got it again for the next 4 years.
And for the last 4 years, you didn't get anything. The 4 years before that, you didn't get anything. So you're not going to get anything now. That's the reason why the count is declining. That's the reason why people are leaving. But I got to say this, Craig, that I don't fault Nathan Pringle for wanting this job. But Nate, I got to tell you this. Wayman Newell cannot give this job to you. The people have to elect. They can do something. If Wayman Newell was to resign, then, of course, who would appoint? Would it be the governor?
It would be a special election.
It would be a special election.
The thing about it, I don't fault him or anybody else, but you're going to have to deal with me because I'm going to run for the position.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to wait on somebody to give me anything.
That's right.
Because if you feel like you're a better candidate, step up and run for the job.
That's right.
Regardless of who's in office.
That's right. That's
so
right.
if you're going to play those games, but people have ulterior motives. And one thing you got to realize, everybody is not for our people. And everybody is not for advancement. Some people are for themselves. And that's just the way it is. I'm just going to be factually blunt today. I'm not angry. I'm not upset. I'm upset about the way the state elections went overall. But with District 2, I know I worked hard and I tried to bring fresh ideas. And I start, and not just, those pats on the back or somebody having, just the same old, same old. I tried to bring something different that's going to help move our community forward, try to help us as far as economic development, bringing ideas, because we can't keep doing the same things. We have an organization that's been here and been in existence for about, 22, 23 years, and they haven't been very successful. So we can't keep doing the same things. But guess what? We're going to do the same things because you got
Craig,
the same leadership.
Well, Craig, what makes me angry is that our people are being sold out. And how about when I say our people, I'm not just talking about black people, I'm talking about black and white people. We're not progressing as a community, we're not progressing as a people, and we keep voting for the same thing, which is nothing, and you can see the decline. You can see no growth, you can see no development. You don't, the East Mississippi Businessman, whatever it is, corporation. Well, y'all know what I'm talking about, the thing, what it ain't, Bill Hammond's over. They have not brought any industry into here, but we're still steady paying them money, giving them money for nothing, steady doing all kind of things that has not benefited this county or this community. Our children still have to leave and go out, unless you become a nurse or a lawyer or be a police officer or a correctional officer. Those are the only jobs around here. Yeah, and those jobs really don't feed. Police officers have to work two jobs. They got to work double shifts.
Or teachers, even them working.
Deputy sheriffs the same way.
Even teachers having to work,
have to work
2 jobs and buying school supplies. But I just want to let everybody know I'm not going anywhere, and you just don't understand. I mean, it meant a lot to me that you had the faith in me to make me your Democratic nominee. I'm humbled by that. And anybody that wants to approach me in this community about anything, feel free. I'm full of ideas, and Eddie Gray will tell you, it's just we talk. And I just lay things down to him, and sometimes you have to cut me off. But, you're full of ideas.
I'm finna cut you off again. No, I just want to say this to Craig. When it comes to knowing about politics and knowing about how government works, that's on a local level, county level, state level, federal, Craig is an expert at that. And so I've heard it said that he should support the people that are in office and give them those ideas. No. If you really want some ideas, then you should pay Craig Houston as a consultant. It's simple as that. But I'm glad to know that he's going to run against whoever. Oh, Wayman Newell, he's not going anywhere. He's not. Why should he? He like that power. He like getting paid to do nothing. He's not going anywhere. He got a few token blacks that, and I got to say this to you guys. This one guy that stand out there with his cowboy boots every 4 years and help Wayman Newell doesn't even live here, but he does live in Wayman Newell District. But he lives in Tumsuma. And Tumasuma's in decline. Tumasuma didn't have anything going for itself. A lot of their counties in decline. It didn't have anything going for itself. Got to talk about Nate Pringle. Some kind of way Nate Pringle would say he's going to support, say, Craig. And this is me talking. This is not Craig talking. He's going to support Craig. And then as soon as Wayman Newell come around, we don't want people like Nate to represent us at all. And I'm going to tell you why, because he's not standing up for the people. He's wishy-washy. He's going to say one thing and do another thing. And then he doesn't have any children that's in the school system. And how about the people that supported Wayman Newell don't have? Well, one person do. Charlotte, I saw you. I called you up and asked you, did you support Wayman Newell? And you basically denied it. But Charlotte, I saw it with my own eyes. I saw you grinning with Wayman Newell going in the courthouse after y'all realized he won. Now, you know what? Only thing I'm going to say about this, Charlotte, is that you call yourself a God-fearing person. If you really care about our children, how could you vote for something that's not improving this county and you have a right to be a Republican or vote for whoever you want to, but don't pee in our face. I don't want to say piss. I said, well, don't piss in our face and tell us it's raining. Don't say one thing and do another thing. All you bougie people, all you bougie bammers out there that think you're doing something, you feel good because you got Wayman Newell in there. The only thing you did is set us back 4 more years. Now, when you set us back 4 years, it take us 8 years to get back where we could have been had you put someone in there like Craig Houston, more progressive, someone like Tarquez Hopson, Marie Franklin, and even Jim Hood. I'm going to get on Jim Hood later. But, Craig, I want to thank you. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Again, I just want to thank everybody for supporting me. I mean, all the text messages, the calls, people calling, and the conversations. And I just want everybody to know that I'm really not upset. I'm disappointed. Because when we have opportunities, we don't get them all the time. You're clamoring for change. I mean, somehow or another, we got to relate to our people that is important. You got to relate to people that, voting is important. I mean, and it takes one step at a time. I mean, not to get discouraged, because it's easy to get discouraged. I mean, we have so many issues that need to be addressed. So, again, I just want to thank everybody for supporting me. And like I said, people have a right to support whoever they want to support. But the one thing that I would like to say is, you go through an election cycle again without an opportunity to sit down and discuss issues with an opponent. And they just kind of slide under the radar and not be challenged on anything. Now, that's one thing that I'll be disappointed in, is not having the chance to sit next to Mr. Newell and discuss ideas, and like I said, I'm not trying to take shots at him, but he just kind of rubs me the wrong way with the way that he does things, and not being, upfront with who he is. So, I mean, and what he's done, I mean, it just upsets me when you manipulate people and you run commercials that are 4 years over the same one you ran, and you mentioned baseball at Magnolia, and there hadn't been baseball at Magnolia in 3 years, and I just have a problem with things like that. So, but that's neither here nor there. Mr. Newell won. He won final score. He got the most votes, and I just hope. Maybe he'll get in.
Gonna say fair.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, he won. I mean, you count the votes. I mean, he won. I just hope maybe with the Lord's help, maybe he'll wake up and realize that, we're not progressing. All I ask of candidates or people that are in office, take a look at the total needs of the county, not just a few. And like I said, we got a lot of things we need to address. I could talk for hours and hours, but I'm gonna wrap this thing up, and I just want to say again, thank everybody for the support, and I want to commend other people that ran for office: Miss Marie Franklin, Mr. Dwayne Davis, Mr. Tarquez Hopson, Michael Grace, people that were the nominees and got out and worked hard. Tarquez Hopson has a future in this community. He's a young man, and he has a lot of bright ideas. He's a bright, intelligent young man, and he has a future in this community. He's somebody that's going to be a leader in this community one day, and he's a leader in this community now. It's just like I said, we got to somehow or another relate to people that how important it is to vote. I was talking to some older people, and they were like what it was like when they were younger. And you're sitting outside and you're talking to people, and it's like, we would have been wrapped around the block to vote 50 years ago if it was just so easy for us to walk in, or 60 years ago. We got to get back to that, people, because whether you believe it or not, your vote counts and your voice counts. But you have that one opportunity to vote, and that's on Election Day. And don't let anybody tell you any different. But again, I want to thank you. And again, I want people to keep their eyes open and to pay attention to what's going on. We needed to have somebody on the Board of Supervisors to challenge the status quo. We can't keep doing the same things. But if you think anything is going to change, you're mistaken. If somebody shows you a record for 12 years, and my only thing is bring some new ideas. Have something to say besides we played ball or we prospered. I mean that's my only thing. And those are important things, but just be honest with people and be upfront. Don't mislead people, and that's what causes me to get a little irritated at people when they do that.
I gotta say this is that I don't think that people were misled. I just think that our people didn't get the vote out, and the people that's gonna support Wayman Newell have been doing it all the time.
Well, yeah, but you can get people, because I've heard people saying, "Oh, they played baseball and not paying any attention." People, they forget. I mean, the average person wouldn't have noticed that that's a 4-year-old commercial. The average person But the people that live in East End, a lot of them did realize, like, well, they hadn't played any baseball over here. The fence just went back up. It'll be 3 years soon. So it's stuff like that that kind of gets under my skin because that's misleading. And if he was sitting right here, I would tell him as such,
and you are correct, and they didn't have a debate. And we just got to figure out a way to get around that. I don't really think that Charlotte Scott, Charles Camper, Johnny B down there that's by crossing with Old Hut and all, or Nate Pring, I don't think they impact this election
well,
as much so as that our young people not voting. Marie Franklin, how are you doing today? Craig, I don't know where the camera is now, but I'm going to tell you this. I want to thank you for a hard race. I want to thank you for your love of the community.
I love my community. I'm not going anywhere.
Thank you for not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. And guess what? Whether you see me at a supervisor's meeting or not, you better believe I keep up with everything you do. One thing about Google, you can read all the minutes. You can pay attention. You pay attention to what's going on. And I'm telling you guys, the focus is not going to change. And I'm going to tell you something that the establishment won this time, because you got the powers that be in our community. They got the same people that they're going to control like puppets, and they're not going to do anything different. And I like I said, we cannot let another election cycle go by when you don't have debates or forums. Whether whoever shows up or not, that opportunity needs to be out there. That's and like right. I said, I think that right there shows incumbents that don't want to stand up for their record. And I'm not just talking about my opponent, I'm talking about the other two too. You know, the thing about it, you should have to stand up and defend your record. And that didn't happen in Lauderdale County. And I'm going to tell you something. That has never happened in this community where we did not have even one debate. I know I talked to some people at TOK, and they told me that I was the one opponent that you know, I was emailing, calling, trying to schedule something. Yeah. Because I think you ought to be able to defend your record. You ought to be able to talk about the future.
Well, the people need to know what
they need to know where you stand, the platform, and what you want to do. And like I said, I'm full of ideas. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I wanted to do that I think would improve this community. But I also want to say this. You're going to have to be an elected official to improve your community. I'm going to continue to do things in my community. But there are certain things that you can only do as an elected official. With an elected official, you got a louder voice when you're an elected official.
And somebody.
And you got a louder, but you got a louder voice where people will. You got the media where you can go to and you can talk about ideas, whereas I can't just walk up to TOK or whoever else and demand that we're going to talk about this. But every time there has been a supervisor's meeting or a work session, there's been an opportunity to talk about things that need to be done. So, like I said, thank everybody. Well, and I'm humble.
We want to thank you too.
And I love my community and my hometown. I do.
Okay, Marie Franklin, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, and yourself?
So we want to thank you too for being out there. Here's one thing that I like that Michael Grace did, you did, and everybody that went against someone is that you gave those people's opponent. I don't think anybody should go back in office without somebody challenging them for their position.
My fault.
You say you got something to say?
I didn't mean to cut Marie off, but I'm going to get ready out. I'm just going to give y'all these numbers. 8,700 people registered to vote in District 2. 3,864 voted. 4,836 people did not vote in District 2. 4,836.
And most of those people were black.
4,836. I just want you to realize you guys had an opportunity to make an impact.
And
we didn't do it. So, I mean, your vote counts.
Thank you again, Craig.
Thank you.
I want copies of all that. Marie, talk to the people while I...
Good evening, peeps. Good evening. I want to thank thank people on Facebook. I want to thank people on Twitter. I want to thank people in Meridian, Lauderdale County, and all surrounding areas. Whether you supported me, whether you supported other candidates of your choice, you voted. If you did not vote, myself and others are coming for you. Okay, one thing that I really want to address. There are 7,500 people who have been they purged from the voting roll. We don't know who they are, but we shall be finding out. That is of an urgent nature. Being able to run, not able, but having the opportunity and the mindset to run has taught me a lot of things. I met a lot of people that had the same common goal as myself. They had the same problems as myself. And they saw benefits of the community just like I did. And those people are the ones who should be running Lauderdale County. I want to make this clear, crystal clear. I said it. I've talked to others who said it. The truth will always be the truth. And for any of you watching or hear about it or read about it, if you might say, well, she a sore loser. Oh, no. No. I got in this race knowing that somebody had to win and somebody had to lose. Regardless, if I felt like it was a fair race, then I'm good. Do I feel that way? No. Because not my race. We didn't sling any mud. We didn't get ugly with each other. But there are things that we must consider. We must put it out in the air, in the atmosphere. The people that are running and making decisions for Lauderdale County, some people are going to say, well, you know, she's saying Lauderdale County, but this is happening everywhere. I speak on Lauderdale County. The people that are running this county, they are not honorable. I'm sorry. We can't, why in 2019 are we using machines with paper ballots? Why? Why are we not using it? I don't care what election it is. They are important. If they were not important, we wouldn't have to vote on them. And we should have electronic ballots in every election. No one is above reproach. When you call to an office that's supposed to give information to the public and they tell you, I don't know, well, how are we supposed to know? And how are we supposed to trust that? When you have a television station that advertises a Democrat, oh yeah, that was a mistake. You guys been doing this since I was old enough to know what you were doing and before. And you hadn't made those type of mistakes. Putting Democrats as Republicans when the Democrat was in the lead, okay, that's a mistake. To have numbers fall from 18,000,
from 8,000 to 7,000 or something.
No. It could have been.
It was 8,000 or something, and then
it came back.
At 96%, it was 8,000 or something, with Cassie being a few
votes behind.
And then when it came back at 97, she was like 500 or 600 ahead, and it was.
And the votes dropped.
Yeah. The votes dropped when 97% was in the votes dropped. How can you make those kind of mistakes?
Both of them had 18. I'm sorry, I keep saying 18. 8,000, and that was like 100 and some people differential when they was at 8,000. And then Lindsay was about to go to commercial to say we'll have more when we he couldn't get it out of his mouth before he came back and said Cassie was 400 votes ahead. Was that true? I don't know. Because they started making these mistakes when a race was so tight, and you cannot, I'm sorry, you cannot say, oh, you guys know I don't know what WTOK would do or not do, because personally, I don't trust you enough to say that. And how do a number drop? And when they came back, one had 7,000 and the other had like 6,009. How does that happen? And then you have even the governor's race. The governor's race, you had different numbers switching. And on that Lauderdale County's race, let me say this. I had someone, as the box was coming in, not for myself, because again, I wasn't just interested in my race. You know what I mean? All these races concern us. So I wasn't just checking on myself. No box came in. How you change the number and no boxes come in yet? That's okay. Let's get to the important stuff. Tuesday is in the past. We can put it in file 13 and keep on moving. Tomorrow, we begin a new chapter. Those 7,500 people that were purged from the road, we need to find out who they are. We need to start to mobilize tomorrow. And don't stop.
Maria, even with the 7,000 people that was purged from the roll, I think that we still could file a lawsuit against the state of Mississippi, because some of the people purged from the roll would be people that would be purged because of certain felony convictions, such as carjacking. They didn't have carjacking when they made the Constitution in 1862 or whenever it was they made it. They didn't have that then. There's only 10 things that can disenfranchise you, but that person that ran for governor, he added 12 or 13 more charges to it that basically affected black people, probably purged about 100,000. See, we got to stand up. Where's the NAACP? Where's the SCLC? Where are these organizations that's supposed to be ensuring that our rights are not being violated? They're merely token organizations that move away from their original concept, that are no longer viable in our community.
And
simple as that.
And for those reasons, or the reasons, I want to find those people. Because I know and I understand and agree 100% with what you're saying. But we know our people, just like they know their people. If I know my people well enough to know that they want me to win so bad and stay in power, that if I am a couple of hundred votes off and I don't have to worry about it, I can sit back and eat and don't have to worry about it. But we do, and we should. But they don't. If you look, people, at every close race we have ever had in this city and in this county, find out who your winners are. That don't happen. You don't get 100% of anything. We are so far in the dark, and we are leaving ourselves in the dark. My thing is, right now, they are the children, they are the senior citizens, they are the people who they're not even given a chance. Back to what Eddie was saying about the people purged from the road for a carjacking. I think someone...
Not only that, but shooting into an occupied dwelling, that was added. And
let me finish my thought.
Okay, I
please.
apologize. Go ahead.
Okay. My thing is, the Constitution... We paid our debt, our ancestors. You want us, forget the past, forget the past, forget the past. We cannot forget the past if it's continuing to go on in the present. I understand that they say that those things should disenfranchise you. Nothing should disenfranchise you, because once you pay your debt, whatever the debt the courts say you pay.
Well, I think it's a lawsuit out there now that they're trying to come up with, whereas they have to restore a person's rights. I think in the state of Mississippi, I don't want to speak too quickly, but I'll talk more about that in future shows. But I agree with you. But the guy that ran for governor, see how he needed us. He needed us. But he already done purged about 100,000 black folks from the roll that could have possibly voted for him and put him in office. And see, but he really don't care, because he'll go on and continue to, with a good living. What we got, I really didn't want to vote for him, but he was the lesser two evil. I'm just telling you the truth.
We always get the lesser two evils. To me, that's just my opinion. There are some things right now in Meridian, in Lauderdale County, that would have kept you and I from being able to run, or it would have knocked us out the race that other people ran, and it still went on, and some even won. But I
gotta say this is that
I don't want people to think though that it's over. It's just beginning.
But another thing too is that you're right. When something affects us adversely, they hold our feet to the fire. But when it affects them, then they look a different way and they don't say anything. And that's one of the things. And I'll talk about this. from what I understand, our current DA, she was reelected, that she didn't live. She was not a resident of the state of Mississippi. And I heard about lawsuits being filed and all that, but then you don't hear anything about that. But I was taken off the ballot because I was not a resident of the state of Mississippi. They took me out not because of my felony conviction, no, because I was not a resident of the state of Mississippi. So, but now when you have someone that'll play ball, that'll do what it is that you want them to do, then it's okay. So if they don't like you now, if they don't like you, they're going to come after you. They're going to, with all the king men
With
and all the
everything
king horses,
they got.
everything they have. But if they like you, you can do whatever you want to do. How about, long time ago, I had a friend that got in trouble. And he got caught shoplifting at Sears, where they tore it down, the old Sears, the first Sears. Anyway, he got caught shoplifting there. And so what they told him, that we want you to go and bust some folks for selling marijuana and selling that new drug called crack. Now, we talking back, going all the way back to 1984. And so what he did, he went and busted a couple of shot houses. They said, that ain't what we want. They said, you can steal and do everything you want to do, and we'll never say anything to you, do anything to you. They said, you'll be the last person we do something to. And how about, he bust a shot house, just one, over on 31st, somewhere over there, and he left. And to this day, he live out of town because he could not do that. He didn't want to go and bust the people. But my point of it, the message of it, and that's not the message. The message is that when you're doing what they want you to do, they will let you break the law, violate the law, and do anything you want to do. They only apply the law. Donald Trump is teaching us well. He teaching us that the Constitution ain't nothing but a farce. It doesn't mean anything. We're going to use that to hurt you and oppress you when things are not going our way, when you're not doing what we want you to do. Because we got so many laws on the book, we'll research and find one and slap you upside the head. And it's like life is a monopoly game. You go to jail and you can't get out until you get a get out of jail free card. And they have that. You don't have those type of resources. And it's sad that they're showing us that, and they really don't give a damn. They're so drunk with power, they don't even care.
But the thing about it, let's give a prime example of today. Look at the Andrecchio case. The Andrecchio case, this lady, I'm quite sure, if $1 million hadn't been put on this case, I guarantee you it has. Now, take it and put that pressure back on someone who's been falsely accused, no money at all, no means of getting any money at all, but can they prove they're innocent when the law say innocent until proven guilty? It's not like that. Okay, this situation did not come to fruition in Meridian because of who was in power at this time, but it has always stuck with me. Just like the Andrecchio case. The Andrecchio case is it's showing us. Sometimes when you're fighting against the wrong people, money makes no difference. But this case, was a young man, and there was an officer working in Meridian. This young man did something for whatever reason, it matters not. And he got beat by a police officer, assaulted. He got assaulted. It was on tape. Was anything done to the police officer? No. Did they know that he did it? Yes. Was there a tape? Yes. Okay, officer was forced to resign. Not fired. He created a felony on a minor, and he was not fired. He was allowed to resign.
And continue to work in law enforcement.
And went to another county immediately. Not a year later, immediately. And recently, he retired this time or resigned, one, whichever. But that was only because he continued in his criminal ways while on force. He did whatever he wanted to do. And his superior overlooked it. Everybody overlooked until the heat got too hot, and they wouldn't let him resign again.
And Marie and people and what Marie's talking about is true, and part of the reason why they continue to because he was doing it to us and doing it to our children and our people. Tarquez Hopson ran a stellar race. I mean, he really mobilized the people. And you know, Tarquez Hopson here. He look like he's related to me. He almost as good looking as
Oh,
I
my
am.
Lord.
Tarquez Hopson, welcome to my show. Thank you for coming. I know you want to talk to your people and just tell them thank you and just tell us what you got planned for your future.
Well, first I want to say thank you for having me on the show. I'm thankful for this race. This race was everything. It taught me so much. In the beginning, I was looking at wanting to win, and then even before the numbers started coming in, I went outside, went to my car, I prayed. I had to pray to God because I was tired. I think I was a little agitated, but I saw the bigger picture after the fact. Before even the votes came in, I was like, God, I asked God to promote me. And when I said that, I said, promote my name, make my name great. And I wasn't specific. So being I wasn't specific, he made my name great. I just didn't win that position because I know that position probably would have had me stagnated to a certain level where I think he wants me to be able to help the entire community. So right now, I really don't know what my future plans. I don't know what God has in store for me. But I want to say thank you to all that got out and voted. I actually was looking at the numbers today, and we have a total of 44,980 voters in Lauderdale County. Out of that, 21,000. Let me make sure. 21,106 actually went out and voted, which is approximately 46.92% voters went out on November the 5th to vote. That wasn't even half. We have to get out and vote. But for the ones that did get out and vote, I thank you so much. My numbers about tripled, which let me know, the people really wanted to see me in office. But like I said, God has bigger things in play for me. So the future, I don't know what the future holds, but I pray that it continues to be as great as this election was.
Well, I want to thank you for a stellar race. I mean, I'm a fan.
I do too.
And I think
Thank
you
you,
mobilize young people, and that taught me that we really got to do a better job of mobilizing young folks and getting them involved. And the reason why we have so many people on the voters roll, because when you get your driver's license, when you apply for AFDC, these people are registered to vote, but they're not going any further than that. So we got to find a way to educate them and get them involved.
Speaking of that, when it comes to the license and things, I just found this out. I told one of my campaign workers was actually working. She went and got her license renewed back on October the 23rd. Well, prior to that, she had to re-register. I mean, she had moved to a new house, so I had registered her at her new house. Well, October 23rd, when she went to get her license renewed for her license being expired, it actually went back and changed her address back to her old address because when she did it online, it didn't let her change her address. So that's one of those things you got to check and see as well, because you could be registered to vote in one area, but if you didn't change your license on your once you go to the highway patrol, there's a possibility where you'll be registered at your old address. So that's another thing, because those ballots, those votes does not count.
And I think that's intentional, because if you can't do it online, then those people should go into the highway patrol office and do it in person where you can change those things. I think they might ask for a lease. If you don't show a lease, I think you have to verify resident. And
What happened was she didn't realize her license was expired. It was like a month or so, and so when she realized, she was like, or she was at home, so she didn't want to ride around, so she just tried to do it online and didn't want to just get a ticket. So instead of going to the highway patrol, she just did it online. But she was like, it wouldn't even let me change my address, which I understood, but it was like, how do you know if this person lives here or not? Or all of a sudden you just changed it, and it went from the highway patrol to the Lauderdale County Circuit Clerk's office, and it changed it without her even knowing.
Yeah, I think I'm disappointed that you did not win, and I think that you need to be in that position or a position like that. So this county judge, circuit court judge. So that means more education for you.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
You already have a master's degree,
well,
so we need you to finish law school. You're young enough to do that. I'm not.
That's coming. That's in play as well. That's in play.
Well, again, we want to thank you for coming by. I know you had to stop with your business there. Who's winning?
The girl, when I left at the end of the first quarter, Marie High girl was up, I think 19 to like 4. They were rolling.
Well, Marie Franklin and I gonna close it out. Anything you want to say to the people? Tell your mom and dad hi.
I finna say yes. First, I want to say thank you. My parents, I love them so much. They were behind me. They supported me they were behind me the entire time. Even on Tuesday, we were out doing whatever we had to do just to try to, make sure we reached out to everyone.
Your church family?
My church people, my pastor and first lady, Agape Storehouse, Apostolic Church. We come on Sunday. We start at 10:15. We have Wednesday morning Bible study at 10. We also have Wednesday evening, starts at 7. Meridian High School basketball, please get out and support the local teams. You have Meridian High, you have Northeast, you have Southeast, Clarkdale, West Lauderdale. We need to get out and make sure we're supporting the youth, let them know that we do care. We do care. And that's one of the things I try to do. That's why I try to inspire the youth to make sure you're doing the right thing. Education is very important, but also education, also you can get a trade. Also, you need to look into that as far as getting a trade. Your education is very, very important. Now, K through 12, you need that. You really need that. And please do not come to the police department. I do not want to see anyone down us. We want to keep you out of trouble. That's the best thing to do. Stay out of trouble. If I see you, I try to help you as much as I can. But the best way I can help you is by telling you, hey, do not get in trouble. I mean, you just got to obey the law.
That's right. Again, I want to thank you. And that's right, people. We got to make the law work for us. And how we do that is by obeying the law. But Tarquez, I want to thank you. Marie, thank this young man. And
You won't hush.
but you the one won't hush. You done came here.
Didn't I tell you when you come in, baby? I said I do
I
too.
done cut
He
off.
know gonna well how much I
Just
want
reaching
you
out
to
with Eddie
stay.
Hope.
I want Anne Marie Franklin when she get here. I want you to please stay, no matter, stay on the course.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Allow young people, not just in one section, allow all the young people to see you, because that's what they need.
I'm hoping to actually, schools and things invite me to come speak,
Right.
just to get my name. Like I said, I love doing it. Motivational speaking.
And I hope your godfather don't run anymore, because that's the position. We got to be
Who is his
realistic.
godfather? Andre?
Andre Harris, yeah. I think he has enough. Andre, you have enough time in there to retire with a nice income. And you need to let this young man come in there. We need younger, more progressive people. I'm just telling the truth.
Well, quit counting that man change.
Hold up, I ain't counting his money. I want him to go ahead on these. We gotta get out of the way and let the young people come in there. We can't. Everybody's doing that. They stay there. Man, you can go in the courthouse. Some of them so old, man. Grogan was a police officer when I was younger than this man here, and he's still in law enforcement. He got to be 105, 110, and I don't know why he's old enough to get Social Security, and that'll pay his medical. So why is he still there? Man, let your son, let your grandchild come. I guarantee his grandchildren grown.
Somebody.
Let him come in there, but Andre, don't do that. Now, don't try to pass this job to your son, because we ain't going for that. But this young man needs that job. Now, if he was me, I would have ran against you. Godfather, grandfather, any father, it doesn't matter to me, because I believe in, we got to get away from feelings and emotions. Like, I understand relationship. Hey, I love my brother too, but some things he do better than me, and I do better than him, and I'm gonna bow down to him. There's no way that anybody can tell me that Andre Harris would do a better job as Justice Court judge than this young man here. Now, I said it.
But this is how I take it.
Yes, sir.
If you had both of us up there, we'll do
Come
even
on
better
now.
of a job.
Come on
we'll do
now.
a greater
I
job
like
there.
exactly
Come on
what
now.
you said, but
That's why I did 3.
I
That was
understand
why.
that, but we got to be realistic. If the numbers are not there, they're just not there. I mean, if the numbers are not there and these white folks will stay at home, they don't care if you can have more education. The most educated black man is lower than the poorest white person. They're not going to elevate you. They don't care, man. They'll get a redneck out of the worst trailer park in Georgia and give him that job before they give it to a qualified black person. They're just not going to do that. We got to be realistic. I appreciate the job you do, and you are a people person. You're not going to break the law, but I've been up there and seen those Justice Court judges. They're pro-state. They are not for the people, and damn it, the people give them the job. And for those of you that are offended when I said damn it sometimes, I'm trying to get away from saying them other words, but damn it, I'm going to say damn it sometimes.
He gonna slow down. He gonna slow his roll. Okay, now, realistically speaking, no, they're not gonna elevate you, young man. But I know you walk in faith.
Yes, ma'am.
We have to elevate ourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
The numbers are there if we go and get the people. I am highly disappointed at the people who didn't have, highly. But I'm not going to be just downright upset with them, because I personally feel that we did not, or didn't have the resources, or didn't have the time, or whatever. We did not take the shot in aiming at go and get them. We got to go and get them. And even the word says, out of loving kindness have I drawn thee. And one last point on that. Another reason why
Out of
our
what?
children,
What?
another reason, out of loving kindness.
Well, why did
have
God
I
have
drawn
David and Samson and all
you,
them?
it didn't say then I don't give you what I give you when you need it.
It's gonna take some
Cut it
balance. You
out.
got damn all that love and kindness when it ain't time for it.
See, that's why I come. He tell me,
Well, I don't care if you
Look at
don't like
here.
what I'm saying and don't listen at me.
hey, your truth is your truth, honey. You know
Hey,
how
but
I go with that.
I gotta say this though.
Black
Tarquez.
history. I got deeply in politics because of what I found out, what they did to our ancestors. So we got to find a way to get people. I don't care. I'll do it for free. I got several Black history books. Come in that school and teach them why we are so adamant about them voting. Look at what they did. Look at what's going on. Look, and it's still happening now. Maybe then that'll light a fire under them.
Well,
Okay.
I wanna say this is that that comes with the superintendent. The superintendent and the school board sets the curriculum for the school. And don't interrupt me, Marie.
I ain't
And I
gonna
want to
say
say,
nothing.
Tarquez is right. It would be better if we had 2 black justice court judges like him, not like anybody else. We don't need anybody that's black and white on the inside or either that's anti-community. What we want is community-minded people there. Now a lot of their counties on about 54% white now, and it's about what 40% black. So we had a number. Shut up, Marie. We had a number.
I think we have more black.
Yes, Lord.
Okay. I said for well.
I think it's maybe flipped around.
I mean, I think it has too.
Well, yeah, and it might be so. But what good is that? My point is this: is that it is doable if we educate those that are not voting. If we, the ones that are not voting, most of those numbers you're talking about are young black folks and old ignorant black folks that are not going to do what they need to do to be okay. If we can educate them and create a new paradigm, then we can make a difference, and we can put 2 black judges. We can put all black judges down there because this county is turning black. That's the reason why they're not educating us. That's the reason why they're incarcerating us. Because if they and disenfranchising us, Jim Hood wanted us to vote for him, but he added all those things there. All them things you named, that's not what's on the Constitution. The Constitution only has 10. And how about it's a new law out, and it's 1971. It tells you about those people that can get. It only got those 10. It does not have those
Other 12,
20. The other 12.
13.
It doesn't have the 23 that's on the Secretary of State. Folks, look at it. So something wrong with that. They're disenfranchising you, and the law does not. An opinion is not the law.
It's not.
It's not the law. But I want to appreciate you, and you know what? I love this young man. I love her spirit. I love her too. But I love this young man. I mean, I became a fan when I met him. I have seen him diligently work for all the people. He does not see color. He's not a racist like y'all think I am. I'm not one. I just want to get the racism out of our communities. But I really want to appreciate you and thank you. And I know you're gonna be around anytime you want to come here and talk to the people about anything you got going or any kind of program gonna uplift our peoples. Welcome back. I'm a ban Marie. Marie ain't gonna even be allowed on 8th Street.
You ain't gonna have to ban me. You ain't gonna have to ban me, honey. Go tell him, Dave. I done told him.
Anyway, thank you again, Tarquez.
Thank you for having
and I know you go back to them girls and let us know. Send me a text on who won, okay? I really appreciate you. Tell the people goodbye again.
Thank y'all again so much for listening, and y'all have a blessed night.
Yeah. Thank you again.
All right, baby.
Yeah. Marie.
I'm just hush. People, y'all know what Hope did.
Marie ain't even acting like she a Christian.
So, Christian ain't about an act. It's a
Look at that attitude you got in that. You supposed to be Christian. I see this man's spirit. I see the dove flying above his head.
Heathen say all the time, you don't act like. Well, they say you a racist.
I ain't gonna argue with you about that.
Okay then.
If what I do makes me a racist, that's what I am.
We about to close out, people.
We ain't getting to close out.
Oh, you said we were.
Jimmy Hopson don't own this.
People, pray.
Yeah.
Pray. Please pray. And also, when you see our young people in need, I want to thank every single one who took the time to go to the polls.
That's right.
And I want to let the ones know who didn't get it together. We're going to try to make it your way. But when you have a meeting of your brothers and sisters, get it together.
And tell us.
And let me tell you why. This is, just a little fraction. When you look at the courthouse, when you look at the supervisors, when you look at the city council, even the city council, George Thomas knew he need to go home years ago. He's not doing anything to help the city. And we know for a fact our numbers are not there. When they say how many African Americans are in this community, no, we're not counting. You know why? I don't even do the census. They don't know where we are. We don't even know how many's in here. So when you show up, take an interest, it don't matter what they know. It's about what we know. When we bond together, when we unify, it's not about what they do. It's about what we do. We're not supposed to sit around and wait on them to open doors for us. And you can begin to call Marie a racist for the division. I'm not going to go off into this spiel about the few white people that I can actually say I consider a friend. If you think what you must, I deal with facts and what I see. And what I see, it breaks my heart and I don't like it, but I gotta deal with it the way it is. I'm sick of seeing our babies being tossed around like footballs. I'm sick of seeing our babies being beat for nothing. I'm sick of seeing our families being broke up because you done accused the man of something that you cannot prove he did, but he was an active member of the community, so you had to get him gone because you can't have him rocking the boat. I can't have every division of the city, every division of the county, every division of the state, every division of the federal is ran by Caucasian people. We can't have that because they're not understanding of our ways. They're not trying to get to know us. They're trying to make us fall in line with what they want us to do, what they want us to say, where they want us to live. They are gerrymandering and we know it. Nothing is done. They're breaking the law and we know it. Nothing is done. And soon as we get 2 tickets, we get a letter from the people with the driver's license. We getting a letter from everybody threatening us, and if you don't show up, you won't do it, and they sending the police to your house. It's just all kind of things, people. We have got to wise up. We got to find our strength, our knowledge, and I really don't want to hear no complaints about what happened Tuesday nor yesterday. Both of them are gone.
That's right.
We need to start tomorrow. I put my number on Facebook regardless of what you think of Marie Franklin, regardless of what you think of Eddie Hope, regardless of what you think of Randall Jennings and anybody else who's trying to help the African American community. It's not about us. If you got babies, it's about them. You got families, it's about you guys. It's about you. I don't like to see it. Meridian can be and will be, and so will Lauderdale County. It will be a better county and a better city. The only way that I don't stay mobile if God say different, because this race taught me a lot. I saw a lot of scared
So,
people.
Marie, are you going to run again?
I don't know, but I know whatever.
You're going to stay active in the
Oh, yes,
community trying to make a difference.
more
I
now
appreciate
than
you and I
ever.
appreciate your spirit. I was saying things, but I really appreciate and
know.
have a lot of respect for Marie.
I
And
know.
she's welcome here all the time. And the reason why I love her is because of her fighting spirit and her love for the community. And she's right about that. You know, I talked about the police officer pulling my son over. My son didn't go to court, so he got a thing where he owed for not having his seatbelt fastened $40-some, and maybe be more or less than that, but for not showing his license, meaning that the police officer knew that he had a valid driver's license, $347, and he want to say he loved my son, he care about my son. How in the hell you gonna charge my son $347 for not showing his driver's license and went before the very judge that y'all saying is okay?
Which
That's
is who?
well, I don't know which judge. It doesn't matter. They
Oh.
all do the same
Is it
thing.
the city or the county?
It was county court.
Oh, wow.
County court. $347 for a young. Well, he got a job now, but at the time unemployed. At the time taking his lady to work. At the time, you know, they ran a check on him, but he ain't got nothing wrong. See, that's how they incriminate. So if he don't pay this, then they'll make a warrant for his arrest for contempt of court, and now he got a jail record. See, that's how they do our children. My son, who doesn't have a juvenile record, my son who finished high school, they entrap our children in there. But we got to do a better job of educating our children. My son know better. He did not vote. I'm ashamed of it. Anybody that's related to me and you did not vote, I'm ashamed of you. I have children that did not vote. I have lady friends that did not vote. You know who your sorry butts are. Did not vote, and it's sad, and they know better. They hear my message all the time. They watch this podcast. So how is it that when you have somebody that's 23 years old won't vote. Somebody 24 years old won't vote. Somebody 22 won't vote, but they sitting right there getting high or sitting there doing nothing, don't have a job and got car, got gas and won't even go to the poll but are standing in line for them food stamps, standing in line for anything that's free or for a sandwich or go down there like cattle going to the slaughter pen when they had it, what they call it, candy crawl. Candy crawl? What?
Right.
I wouldn't go anywhere I got it.
I
You
wouldn't
gonna call
either.
it a crawl?
And you know what? It's not free. Anything that the government, it's a trap. And if you love yourself and judges, we sat back and allowed the mayor to put Jones down at City Hall, and Jones breaking the law of today.
Because of the consent decree.
No, because of
They came up with an agreement where they couldn't arrest anyone for not paying
I
fines.
didn't know the consent decree forced them to
No,
do
no,
that.
not that consent. They signed a new one with the city of
Yeah, let me
Meridian.
tell you people what it is. So that if it ever come up in your case, you need to tell somebody. If they try to put you in jail, if they arrest you and they're trying to charge you bond money and you don't have it, they cannot put you in jail. That is the law. And Judge Jones did it. I'm sorry. Jones did it for a little while. But then that money started dwindling away, people. And because we don't want to be locked up. We the type of people we don't want to be.
We can't fault the judge. The judge gonna do what he's told to do. It's person.
And what the thing about it, Mr. Holt say you can't fault the judge. The judge got a mind of his own, and if he don't, he really don't have no.
Only thing they gonna do is send him home because it's an appointed position. They done that too many
people
times.
With money, he got
Sheriff
more money
Barry
than
did
the
that.
Well, it's time for him to go home too. He got the
Well, how
age
about
and the money.
All you gotta do is vote for me. People already say I'm gonna fire everybody.
But the
So vote for me.
city. Oh, you talking about mayor?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, people, they.
Oh, Marie,
the
you
law
gonna run
is
for
you
mayor?
cannot. Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare.
Well, you ran for what? Supervisor?
Supervisor, one district, the mayor of the whole city. I'm like
But
the
that
rest. I
district
want
is-
to enjoy some of my own retirement. I love people.
It's just
I
delegating.
love all people.
Well, people,
Anybody that know me
Marie,
know that.
you know you got to come back. So continue to talk to the people because you're talking some real talk, as they say. You're saying things
Well,
that are very important that our people need to know
I
and hear
want
about.
you guys to know. You have a community.
Did you
we've
tell them
always-
thank you for their support?
Oh, of course I did.
How many times? Just once? When you
No,
first got
I've
started?
told them twice here, but hey, I tell them again. Now look, I would call some names. I really want to, but I haven't gotten their permission. That now, Brenda Gordon,
She
my
worked
girl.
hard. She worked hard.
Well,
She was
she
there with
worked
you.
hard on her job, and she would get off her job, and wherever I was going, she would ride with me. She did not stop.
So I know
And
you appreciate that.
Oh yes, Lord. I mean, she didn't stop until Tuesday night when we stopped, probably close to 9. because
Brenda, I'm
we-
working with it. I know that my little profanity product, but I'm working with it, Brenda. You gotta hold on, trying
He
hard.
begging that, bro.
No, I ain't big. I almost cursed again, Marie. It's just
You better not.
I'm just a product of my community. That's all. You know, I'm a hybrid. I'm
Okay, you
street
know.
educated and college educated.
Yeah, now that's the thing that I can say about Eddie, because I really didn't know Eddie. I just heard of him in the streets, and I've been a person for a long time. I might would take in what I hear, might even repeat it, depending on who I'm talking to. But nowadays, I try to verify it. I try to get to know the people for myself. Some people don't want you to know them, and that's cool too. I know a lot of people, but once I got to know him, honestly speaking, when I saw you come in Velma Young doing Mayor Bland's election, and I thought, I know this ain't no hoe. That's the guy that they've been talking this and that and that.
You thought I was
Because
6
have a
feet tall, didn't
relative- No, they've always said you were short.
And good looking.
No,
Oh,
only
Marie,
women said that. Only women
Well,
said
that's what
that.
that man on post.
Well,
Grandpa
most
said
of
I
the
hit him in
people
the
I
face
heard-
or something.
Well, most of the people I heard about you from were men.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I know this. I know a winner when I see one. And people, don't be like this, please. If you are not going to be the type of friend to a person
that they are to you, don't you think it's the honorable thing is to leave them alone and not to use them?
That's right.
You know, Miss Gordon, the same good. I hope she don't mind me saying this. She and I met. Well, I've been met her because we're actually relatives, but we started hanging, so to speak, in '86. Yeah. And
You didn't have to go that far back.
hey, I love it when I can tell somebody I've been friends
86,
with
how
somebody.
many years ago? 89.
33, baby. No, my son. Yes,
That is 30.
33.
That mean you.
Ain't that something to have
That
a
mean
friend
you
that
and her
long?
about 60 years old.
Hey, don't worry about that. We in there. I got a friend longer than that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
So the thing about it is, though, she told me we were talking about what we appreciate about each other and what we learned from each other. And she told me, she said, "You taught me how to be a friend."
Yeah,
She said, because you the type of friend that's all in.
yeah.
And she, I told her, I said, well, you learned well.
I like to say that about the Dice man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a strong
He wasn't
blonde.
no competition. He was a friend, huh?
Well, it ain't so much of that. He's a young man that I consider a young man. He's very intelligent. He's strong. He's very knowledgeable, and
Think
he's a
that's all
genius.
He could
Yeah.
be
I mean,
if
he's
he
a
had
genius.
a job that worked in the city, in the county. Again, I go back to when you look at these positions. A young man and myself was talking about this on yesterday. You see a whole lot of salt and very few specks of pepper. It takes a lot of ingredients to make a good cake or a good banana pudding. It takes
Anything.
more than two.
That's right.
So we should be able to ask that you search. You know, when Jesus was telling the people about the disciples, he said, "Go out among you and find 12 that's worthy, that's done proved themselves." They should be able to come in our community. They should be made regardless of what they want to or not. Unless they say, "Marie, you don't have to pay no more taxes. Marie, you don't have to pay no more power bill. You don't have to pay no more. We're going to give you all that stuff, but now you can't make no decisions." Well, you can't just do it for Marie. You got to do it for every other individual, black people, that pay taxes but have no decision making in the process. There are so many decisions made in this community that we don't know about until the decision's been made. And when you ask them, well, why is it? Then they want to look like
That's that shroud of secrecy in order to keep us. Anytime there's a shroud of secret, there's always something going on that's not copacetic, as they say. It's just illegal activity or it's oppressive activity. And here the thing I say about that I don't have a problem with the all the seal white and just a few specks of black, because in my administration it's gonna be all pepper and no salt. I'm just,
just talking that.
No, I'm not just talking. I'm telling the truth. I have maybe one or two token white folks working there. If I can't find a black qualified person in the world.
I want to say this. Y'all might say, well, you know, she's saying those things and she don't know. If you want to know, if you really want to know, if we know what we're talking about, if anybody know what they're talking about in the community, if they're bringing out anything, if you really want to know, get with us. Because you will find out there are so many people in every aspect of this community that we just cannot trust.
That's right.
And we have to let them know. And when they don't give us the answers that the law said they should, sliding by, getting over, letting it go. When we gonna be done with that?
Well, Marie, we had an opportunity to make a change Tuesday, and we didn't, and we'll have that opportunity again next year and the year after that.
That's right.
And Marie, I want to thank you for coming in. I want to invite you back again Tuesday. Okay. Come back Tuesday, okay, and we can continue this conversation. But I want to say this, people, is that we're in a situation where the majority of the citizens in the city of Meridian are black people. And I think that all black people should be in those positions. I think we're very intelligent people. I think that we are the original people. I think that we're the ones that developed math, science, philosophy, and built the pyramids. I think the life started in Africa, and I think that genius is still in us. I think that if we have the right people, the right black people in this, and I'm saying that not because I'm a black man, but because when the white people was in a majority situation, and even they were not, they still made sure we only had one token chief of police, and that was Dubose. And so I ain't gonna even play like that. I'm gonna just tell you, they held on to power as long as they could, and they're still holding on to that power. And we saw that happen Tuesday. And then we had certain people that sold us out. I'm really disappointed in Charlotte because I heard her speak so much about God. I heard her speak so much about how much she loved Jesus. How can you love, he said, suffer not the little children, for theirs are the kingdom of God. So how can you care about your children and not care about Marie's children or mine or the other children in this community? So, and I can tell about that is because you kept oppression. It made you feel good to walk up the steps with that man. It made you feel good to do the things that you did in secretive to keep this man in power. Well, look here, I'm exposing you. I'm exposing you because the people need to know. I don't care if you don't like me because I don't like you either. I don't like people to sell us out. I'm going to just tell you that. Ain't nothing fake about me. I'm going to run for mayor. Ain't no jokes about it. I'm going to run for mayor. Okay? And when I run for mayor, I promise you, we're going to have a majority black situation, but we're going to have the most qualified black people in this United States of America. I promise you that. We're going to fire the whole school board. No, I'm not satisfied with any of you. Yes, Amy Carter, you will see me soon because a parent want me to come down. Yes, I think you should be fired. And you going to be fired under my administration. We going to clean house. But don't think, he done lost his mind. He going to fire everybody. But understand, when I go in there, me and my transition team going in there together, I'm going in with my chief of police. I'm not playing no games. I'm going in with everybody that's going to be in no position. And they're going to be the most qualified people in Meridian, Mississippi, Lauderdale County, United States of America. You understand? The most qualified black people.
And people, I got to say this. Look at what is going on. They keep saying, well, we progressing, we got places to go. They got places to go. The Riley Center didn't have anything to do with us. The art place downtown, the cost of using it, the cost of getting in, that had nothing to do with the probably 90% of the black community. All we want is fair share. We have went back too far. And we can't keep going. Our children's lives are better than that. It's better. Think about it. Look, if you only knew the children we have in this community, we are not doing our part. We are not. It's not okay. It's just not okay to go earn a living in this city, especially if you work within the city or the county, make your money, build your home, have a good life, but all along the people that you the people that you are sponsored for in that area, how can you be my supervisor and don't care that my property is deteriorating while you down and building up a whole city for yourself? That's a man with no conscience. We can no longer have people over our children with no conscience.
Or our city. And Marie, I want to thank you. And again, and people, when Percy was running for mayor, I said that we're like ants. One ant by itself can't do anything. But if the ants come together, they can slay the elephant. And we slew the elephant. And guess what? The beast was wounded this time, meaning that because the district tool was created by the Justice Department for a black person, the beast is wounded, but the beast is going to rise up because we didn't come together as a people and slay the elephant. And so we got to, and so it's not just black people. Right now, my peers are dying off or dead, and those that are older than our parents, they're either dead or about to die. They're no longer voting. We're not replenishing our voters pool, and we do that with our young people. How about white people know that? So from day one, when the baby come into the world, they're teaching them and educating them. You heard Weston Linderman say that at 16 years of age, he was working. Out here in 16, they even kicked out of school, criminal record, don't have a job, hanging on the streets, getting high off that weed that got all them drugs and chemicals in it. But I want to say this, people, is that we can make a difference. I'm going to try to get the ants to come together, and we're going to slay the elephant. We're going to show them that how this can be a viable city. This can be a good city. This can be a city that everybody, not a retirement community where they sending everybody to retirement homes, to the funeral home, or to prison. We talking about a thriving community that has people coming here to see that courthouse where the first black man killed a judge in Lauderdale County. So much history here that they try to run from. How about we gonna embrace it? I want to thank you guys for listening in.
Thank you.
I want to thank my guests, Craig Houston, Tarquez Hopson, and Miss Marie Franklin. And also, I want to thank the Dice Man. He made all of this happen.
Yay.
Hey, Miss Kim. Hey, Dolores, my family, friends, all of you out there that's listening, I want to thank you for listening. Tube out. Hope you're feeling better. Y'all have a good evening.